Now, unbeknownst to many Americans, our current president is not the first individual to make a campaign promise that something was going to be done at the expense of our southern neighbor, Mexico. In the campaign of 1844, James Polk made several campaign promises, one of which was that the Oregon and Washington Territory were going to be made part of the United States. And that part happened. In 1846, there was a treaty made with Great Britain, and those two territories were made part of the United States. Another was that the Texas Territory, which at that point was its own country, would be made a state. And another one was that the California and New Mexico territories would be made part of the United States. And those two areas were still part of Mexico. So during his administration, he ordered General Zachary Taylor, old rough and ready, to take the American army south into the Texas Territory. Now, there was a border dispute between the Mexican government and the Texas government, where the Texas government believed that the border of the U.S. and Mexico was the Rio Grande River. And according to the Mexican government, they believed that the border was actually several miles north, which was called the Nueces River. So President Polk played on this one quite well. He had the U.S. Army cross over the Nueces River. Now, this is not the Nueces River I'm by. This is the Mississippi. I am not in Texas. So we had them cross the Nueces River with the orders to do nothing but wait. So you're the Mexican army, you're on the other side, and you are seeing the American army coming across what you understand to be the border. Needless to say, shots were fired between the two armies. So the word gets out in the American press of American troops fired upon an American territory. The press has a field day with that, and the American people are outraged, demanding that the United States go to war with Mexico. And so he sends the American army down there in 1847. One through the northern area of Mexico through Zachary Taylor, and another one through another army leaving through the port of New Orleans, going by ship to the eastern part of Mexico, led under General Winfield Scott, old Fuss and Feathers. Now, one thing that's particular about this is many of the soldiers that were in that army would go on to get great notoriety in the American Civil War. This was their testing ground. Many of them were part of the West Point class of 1846. For example, General Scott's aide, of course he was not class of 46, much earlier, but his aide was a captain from Virginia named Robert E. Lee. Whereas on on Taylor's was another gentleman by the name of Ulysses S. Grant. More to come on that.